Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? See, everybody knows the value of vaccinations, and every time you testify, you tell us how valuable they've been, and we already know that. We're not here to say that vaccinations aren't important. They're very important. They've given us the highest quality of life of any civilization in the history of mankind. That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about why they're putting mercury in vaccinations and why it's never been tested since 1929 when Lilly developed it. Mr. Egan, has thimerosal ever been tested by our health agency?
It's been only there were those early tests that you know of that were done by Lilly.
And when was that test done? That was done in 1929.
Yes. And
okay, well, let's follow up on that. In 1929, they tested this on 27 people that were dying of meningitis. All of those people died of meningitis, and so they said there was no correlation between their death and the mercury in the vaccines. That is the only test that's ever been done on thimerosal that I know of. Can you think of any other?
No, in people, no.
Okay,
except for accidental exposures over.
Okay, so we have mercury that's being put into people's bodies in the form of this preservative, and has been since the 30s, and it's never been tested by our health agencies. And yet, you folks come here and you testify that there's no conclusive evidence, and the IOM says they favor, get this, they don't say they're sure, they say they favor rejection of a causal relationship between mercury and autism and other neurological disorders. Mr. Egan, can you say to me right now that that amount of mercury being injected into a baby will not hurt it?
It's impossible to make those categorical statements of 100%.
That's right. That's what I want to say. So it is possible that the amount of mercury that's being injected, even in trace amounts, could damage a child neurologically, right?
I don't think it has that capacity. I mean, that's, we can argue.
I know, but you don't think it is, but you can't say categorically, can you?
Do I have evidence for every single child, for every possible dose? The answer is no.
There you go. We've been after this now for 8 years. Now, progress is being made, but sometimes I feel like it's pulling a wisdom tooth where they get in your mouth with both feet and both hands, and they're jerking that tooth out. I mean, it's just so hard to get it moving.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole. So I have that perspective.
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I am Dark Match Steve, as you may have guessed. Welcome. How we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Tonight we are on YouTube, X, and Rumble, because what do you know? We're covering a topic that is, conspiracy related. So I got us up on the Rumble again tonight. No Facebook tonight. I got butt fucked by the algorithms last night, and it looks like the same thing is happening to me tonight on YouTube. But look, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know what I am supposed to say, what I'm not supposed to say on YouTube anymore. I don't fucking know. Somehow, that John, what the fuck is the guy's name? The Dr. John something, who is like, the anti-vax old man doctor that breaks down here and there. He'll break down the latest news with what info is coming out about the vaccines as we slowly learn more data, or get more data and learn more facts about them. Somehow his videos once in a while get recommended on my, I guess it's been a while since that's happened, but I get them recommended on my YouTube. Here and there, I'll get one of his videos. The doctor's name is slipping me. It's pissing me off. But anyway, so you never know. Maybe I'll get into some kind of good algorithm where the vax people on YouTube will find this video. I don't fucking know. I don't have an opinion on any of this. This is just entertainment. I'm just on here to have a little bit of fun and check out what James O'Keefe is up to. That is our topic for the night, is James O'Keefe. He's at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Our, what is it? Our bait and switcher. Somehow James O'Keefe has an endless supply of gay twinks to go seduce these other gay guys, not twinks, and the ones he's talking to aren't that cute or young. And he has an endless supply of these twinks to go get these people drunk and get them on hidden camera admitting to terrible, terrible things, whether it's people within the government admitting that during COVID lockdown, it was one of the guys from New York, a health advisor or something from New York, who was saying during the lockdowns, he was having orgies with his friends. You remember that? And all kinds of different people that have worked for the FDA and other manufacturers and stuff. The one, you guys remember, it was James O'Keefe got that, the one gay guy that worked for the FDA. And this guy was admitting on camera that he wanted to use a blow dart on black people because not enough black people were getting the COVID vaccine. It's just a little, it's just a little peek behind the curtain as to how these people privately think and talk. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know. It should have been more shocking to me. But, it's funny to see people at the FDA who are supposed to care about, the average citizen of America and the state of health in this country, making, slightly racist. They didn't say Chuck Spears at black people. They said blow darts. I feel like that's close enough to say that it was racist. I think there was some racism within the statement. That blonde hair gay guy from the FDA. And remember, the craziest thing is the person that had him on hidden camera recorded him saying he wants to blow dart black people with the COVID vaccine. And it's like, he said it like 3 times, and the guy's like, okay, that's enough with the blow dart thing. And he's like, honey, remember what I said about the blow darts? Like, we just gotta get the black people with the fucking blow darts. And the other guy's like, all right, dude, all right, I get it, the blow darts. And then 2 minutes of conversation would go by, and he would just be like, so anyway, let's talk about the blow darts. It's like, that's how you know. It's like, not necessarily all the people at the FDA are pieces of shit, but they have flaws. They're humans. So we have to, you have to do a little thinking for yourselves in all situations. You can't just trust an authority figure. Not because they're not honest people, but because they're flawed. Because they are people. All right, let me get to the chat. I'll say hello to everybody trickling in here. And by trickling, I mean I am in a terrible fucking algorithm on YouTube, and I fucking hate my life right now. But let's say hi to the people that did show up. As you guys know, free prostate milkings for the first person in the chat. Just a little incentive for you guys. Just trying to give back to my community on here, okay? Let's get to Brian from Philly. Up in the chat first again tonight. Fat Pig second, a close second. God damn. Brian from Philly, 2 nights in a row, just racking up the free prostate milking. Sir, congratulations. The Fat Pig is officially angry at you, I think, though, because he likes to just collect them. Fat Pig has never shown up in Tampa trying to get me to fulfill my end of the the bargain here, the award of the prostate milking. He just likes to collect them so that other people don't get the sexual attention from me. I think that's part of his logic there. Bob Cook's up in here. What's up, Bob Cook? The painter, the baker. Welcome. Scott Starbird's up in here. DMS Brian from Philly. Yeah. Cruz showing up. Holyoke Joe's up in here. Joe, thank you for coming to hang. Joe, I swear to God, I'll never forget that stream with the I don't know, you probably were live today. I was really busy. I worked a little late, and then I was rushing to set up the stream at like 7:25, 7:30. But Joe, your stream was so good yesterday. It was fucking hilarious. You making fun of that guy. I was honestly, Joe, it sounds like I'm making this up or something. I almost pissed myself. I truly almost pissed myself watching Joe's stream. And I was trying to type in the chat and just like laughing so hard I couldn't fucking type. Good shit, Joe. Michael Earl's up in here. What's up, family? Dutch Duke. Nobility. Royalty. Dutch Duke. Donald Ferguson's up in here. What's up, Don? Let the milking begin. Let the milking commence. I want to see milk emojis in the chat right now. Isn't there a glass of milk or something? I think there's a milk emoji. Oh, Tommy's up in here. What's up, bro? Listening while working around the house? Yeah, podcasts are great for that. Streams and podcasts. That's good shit. Sometimes I just like to put on a 4-hour Destiny video and clean my fucking house. Listen to it in 2x speed, and he's already listening to stuff on his stream in 2x speed, so then I'm listening to stuff in 4x speed. It's a rush. It is such a rush. All right, so we're to the bottom of the chat because I am having a shitty night. No, it's okay, guys. I totally knew that this is what I was in for. That I would get in a... I hope you guys notice at least that I'm staying true to the game here. I'm trying to fucking actually talk about stuff that matters to me and not just clickbait people and try to cover trendy topics just to get subscribers or something. I'm actually trying to talk about some stuff that matters here at the risk of, my own, you could say, success with the algorithms or whatever. But this is important shit, guys. And I also would never spoil the opportunity to brag that I was right the whole time about all of this, which I have not watched this video yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to prove me right about some things that I've said in the past. Now, if you guys, if you were late, I think I've played this sample for you. I think I've played this on the stream before. I'm not sure though, but I've played it on my podcast years ago when I used to do a pre-recorded podcast. But guys, when the stream is over, maybe I'll remind you guys, because I know it took a minute for people to get in here. You got to watch the intro of this stream over again if you did not catch it live. That is Congressman Dan Burton. This is a real thing that happened. Congressman Dan, but should we just play it again? Who missed the intro? Do I need to play it? I'd love to play the intro again and break that down because I don't know if I've played this on here or not. Who can anybody say? I need to set up so that I can do polls and see who the fuck saw the intro because it's worth talking about. Scott Starbird said, DMS, you missed Joe's stream when he called Uber Eats and ended up hooking up with the Filipino customer service lady. Oh, boy. You're thinking of Scruff, right? He uses some gay app, but he tells his hookup dates to bring him a pizza or wings or something, right? What's your gimmick, Joe? Is there any truth to this, Joe? Because I think I must have missed this. And thank you, Joe, for the raise your glass. Thank you, guys. We got a few milk emojis in here. Some people respect me because of lack of judgment. Okay. Who has seen the intro? Is anybody? Come on, guys. No, okay. We'll just play it again. We'll play it again. Should we? I have to do it now.
Okay, would you please write?
Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. So again, this is Bob Cooksod. Okay, thank you. We'll just go over it again real quick. This was just an eye-opener for me, you guys. When I stumbled across this years and years ago, this is one of those things, at least for me, that I don't forget. You never forget the first time well, I don't remember where I was. It's not like 9/11 or something. I remember where I was on 9/11. I was at school. I remember where I was when Donald Trump got shot, supposedly. I was at Lummy's birthday party. That's all anyone wanted to talk about was that Donald Trump got shot. It totally overshadowed Lummy's birthday. It was really funny. So this is just eye-opening. This is Congressman Dan Burton. There's a few other clips of this guy. He's like the original Trey Gowdy. A lot of you probably know about Trey Gowdy. There's a bunch of clips of him. Viral clips where he is, someone's testifying before Congress or something, and he's absolutely clowning them. And Congressman Dan Burton used to do that. There's some other clips of him getting into altercations, verbal altercations with people, and during congressional hearings and shit like that. This is Congressman Dan Burton speaking with, let's see who he's talking to, guys. Dan Burton questions FDA representative over mercury in vaccines. Now, for the record, this isn't my first day talking about this subject. I know that they don't really use mercury anymore. Okay, they use like polysorbate 80 and aluminum and what's the other, formaldehyde or something? I don't remember what they use a different concoction these days to preserve the active ingredients in the vaccine. Used to be thimerosal, which is mercury based. Okay. It's funny how we no longer use this in the vaccines, but everyone was quick to argue that it's not a big deal and you're a crazy person if you have an issue with this. But here we are in 2025 and there's basically no more. I think the last vax that still contained thimerosal was one of the flu vaccines, and it was like that was like 10 years ago. There's probably no more that continue to use thimerosal. Funny how that happened since it was completely harmless, right, guys? Funny how none of the vaccines contain this anymore, but it was completely harmless back in the day. So this is back. I don't even know what year this is from. This is back, what you can tell by the terrible quality of video. This is like the fucking 90s or early 2000s. This is Dan Burton questioning the head of the FDA. And it's the head of the FDA Vaccine Research and Development Department. Okay? Questioning him about vaccines containing thimerosal. Let's just take a look at this, because there's so much to say about this.
Rise be sworn. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
See, everybody knows the value of vaccinations, and every time you testify, you tell us how valuable they've been, and we already know that. We're not here to say that vaccinations aren't important. They're very important. They've given us the highest quality of life of any civilization in the history of mankind.
Maybe.
That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about why they're putting mercury in vaccinations and why it's never been tested since 1929 when Lilly developed it. Mr. Egan, has thimerosal ever been tested by our health agencies?
Okay, so let me point this out. I don't know if a congressman isn't necessarily right. I don't know if this Congressman Dan Burton is right about this. But the whole point of this is you will see that either Congressman Dan Burton is 100% right that we started adding thimerosal, a mercury-based substance, to the vaccines to help preserve them, and that got injected into every fucking child's body across America, and we didn't know whether it was harmful or not. Our FDA and the CDC recommended it. The CDC makes the vaccine recommendation list, guys, okay? So either Congressman Dan Burton is right that there was virtually no data on side effects. He's right that there's no data really on the side effects of thimerosal being in vaccines, and then we gave them to all the kids in the country. Or Congressman Dan Burton is wrong, but also the head of the FDA is about to confirm what he just said. So if there's any fact checker that can twist this video and my commentary into trying to make it sound like fake news or like I'm wrong, this is another one of those situations that we often run into when fact-checking authorities on this stream, is that we got a lose-lose situation here, guys. Either the head of the FDA vaccine research knows nothing about vaccine research, or Congressman Dan Burton is right at the fact that we had virtually no data on thimerosal when the CDC started recommending everybody shoot it into their child. Javi, bro, how do I pronounce your name? Which video is this? This is, you can actually find this on YouTube, but it will play games. The search engine will play games with you when you try to find this. I can maybe link this on my Twitter if people want the original video, but this is, you can watch this uncut at the beginning of this stream. I use this as the intro video. This is, if you want to look this up on YouTube, it's Congressman Dan Burton, DanBurton, FDA vaccines, and it will come up. Congressman Dan Burton, FDA vaccines, and this will come up, but you got to scroll a little bit and just recognize the quality of the video, try to spot it, but it's a little bit down. The algorithms and the search engine, it wants to pretend it doesn't know what you're talking about. It knows exactly what you're looking for, but it's pretending it doesn't. So anyway, this is Congressman Dan Burton confronting the head of FDA Vaccine Research and Development about vaccines containing thimerosal. This is back when they did in this country.
It's been only
So Dan Burton just asked him, is there any data on thimerosal in the vaccines except for the one John Lilly study, which was a shitty study that proves nothing, which he will explain further. Here we go.
never been tested since 1929 when Lilly developed it. Mr. Egan, has thimerosal ever been tested by our health agency?
It's been only there were those early tests that you know of that were done by Lilly.
And when was that test done?
Acute.
That was done in 1929.
Yes. And
1929. It's good to know that the FDA and CDC are using the most up-to-date data before they start recommending you shoot drugs into your arm. It's good to know in the whenever the fuck, 80s, 90s, we recommended people get thimerosal vaccines, and they're using data from the 1920s. That's good to know. That's really good data to use.
Okay, well, let's follow up on that. In 1929, they tested this on 27 people that were dying of meningitis. All
27 people. The study size, 27 people, which is, it's disgusting and insulting that doesn't meet the standards of testing. 20 some people is like the smallest sample size you could ever have for a study. And they were all people who were dying from meningitis.
of those people died of meningitis, and so they
Everyone in the study died.
said there was no correlation between their death and the mercury in the vaccines. That is the only test that's ever been done on thimerosal that I know of. Can you think of any other?
no, in people, no.
Okay,
Except
so-
for accidental exposures, overexposure.
Okay, so we have mercury that's being put into people's bodies in the form of this preservative and has been since the 30s, and it's never been tested by our health agencies. And yet you folks come here and you testify that there's no conclusive evidence, and the IOM says they favor, get this, they don't say they're sure, they say they favor rejection of a causal relationship between mercury and autism and other neurological disorders. Mr. Egan, can you say to me right now that that amount of mercury being injected into a baby will not hurt it?
It's impossible to make those categorical statements of 100%.
That's right. That's what I want you to say.
Wow, imagine that. It's really funny how all of the fucking retards on Twitter and in the mainstream media, they know so much better than the head of the FDA. Everyone else can call things safe and effective, but yet here we have the head of the FDA agreeing, basically restating what I've said on this fucking stream 1,000 times, is that there's like, you can't just say it's safe. That's bullshit. There's no drug that is safe. There's always risk.
So it is possible that the amount of mercury that's being injected, even in trace amounts, could damage a child neurologically, right?
I don't think it has that capacity. No. I mean, that's, we can argue.
I know, but you don't think it is, but you can't say categorically, can you?
Do I have evidence for every single child for every possible dose? The answer is no.
There you go. We've been after this now for 8 years. Now, progress is being made, but sometimes I feel like it's pulling a wisdom tooth where they get in your mouth with both feet and both hands, and they're jerking that tooth out. I mean, it's just so hard to get it moving.
So that's a good starter. Oh, Rainey's up in here. What's up, Rainey? Guys, Rainey's here to sling houses. Please buy a property. She's got good place. She's got a nice place right next to Necker Island. She's got a nice place out there. It's called Little St. James. Not sure if you guys have heard of it, but the guy that owned the property apparently took his own life while in prison. And so now she's got to sell this property. But it's got a really nice place on it. And it's got a tunnel system underground. I just got a condo to list today. That's different from the island place that you're selling, right, Rainey? Okay, well anyway, let's go to Twitter and let's check out this James O'Keefe video. Keeping in mind what we just saw. Let's check this out now. No, guys, that was truly a mind-bending moment the first time that I saw that. It was completely completely shocking to me to actually see someone from the head of the FDA actually held to task a little bit because of the fucking games that they play, recommending vaccines and whatever else. Is that not like unbelievable to you guys? All your kids, I don't have kids. I'm not worried about my kids, but all your kids and me probably at least when did they stop using Thimerosal? I wouldn't doubt that I got one of the Thimerosal vaccines. That would explain the way I act. But I mean, if you aren't appalled by the fact that someone from the FDA not only has, I mean, you wouldn't expect them to have confidence because you can only have confidence if you know your product is relatively safe and you have a lot of data to back that up. But when you're sitting there recommending people shoot something into their precious child's body and you have data that is now 100 years old from the 1920s, a study that involved 20-some people, you're using that as the rationale to recommend your drugs that you're all already free of liability on. Very funny. Joke's on us, guys. All right, let's get to where do I have this? I know I got this saved. What the fuck? Oh, okay, here we go. Here is this one. All right. Well, and there's a follow-up video now? Okay, so there's two videos we have to look at. This will be good. All right, let me get you guys over to this Twitter tab. All right, so breaking. This is from yesterday, James O'Keefe's Twitter. Johnson & Johnson's lead scientist confesses J&J COVID-19 vaccine was not safe and effective, reveals lack of research. Imagine that, guys. Not as surprising after what we just watched, but still shocking. Reveals lack of research from rushing to release vaccine. People wanted it. We gave it to them. Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products? Guys. You know, I should be more somber, but this vindication, this level of vindication is like a drug. It's like a drug. It really is. I could probably go without smoking tonight and feel 10 times as blissful as I do on a regular night streaming, because I was made to feel really like a piece of shit and like a crazy person for having any kind of concerns, and even talking to my own family members and just telling them, I never told anybody, hey, don't do this at all. I know I know for sure that you should not do this. I always told everyone I should have been more aggressive. That's what I've learned from this now, and that's part of why I'm doing the stream now, is if I have a funny feeling, it is worth putting it out there, because you never know who might hear you and say, actually, this person is a bald but sexy little twink, and he's a crazy motherfucker, but I can't help but notice he made a point. All right, so let's get to this. Here's the rest of. I mean, we basically just had a race to figure out who could solve it best. At one point, we just canned it. All right, interesting. These are the people who have your best interests at heart with every breath they take. Let's start from the beginning here.
Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products?
Joe Biden says that it's safe and effective, but like he didn't know.
There's no proof. I mean, none of that stuff was safe and effective. Who wanted it?
Guys, isn't it crazy? I could be a scientist. Guys, I could be a scientist. I've been right this whole time. What the hell? Guys, I saved myself. I would be in so much debt if I went to college to become a scientist. Here I am. I'm just a shithead streamer, and I know as much as the people running the FDA. I've been right about this. I've been aligned with the truth, the real truth on this from day one. I'm a scientist.
Who gave it to you? It's like, all right, you know what? Cancer patient's going to die anyway. I'm sure somebody's going to get sued for that stuff eventually.
Let's hope someone does. Oh, God. I don't want to live in a world where someone does not get sued for this.
Hi, Josh. Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
And you said that your vaccine was not safe.
He said, "Are you Josh Rice or whatever?" He's like, "No, I'm not." And James goes, "So you're going to deny your identity?" And he goes, "Yes, I am." You just confirmed that that's you. Accidentally.
Effective. You said that. Deep inside Johnson & Johnson.
Not the side eye, not the bombastic side eye at the cameraman. It's not his fault. You said what you said.
Global machine is a scientist, a lead scientist whose very approval or disapproval of J&J products can change millions of American lives. Meet Joshua Rees, a lead regulatory scientist at Johnson & Johnson. Joshua, in his role, leads the creation and execution of regulatory strategies for new and existing products across Johnson & Johnson.
We run the whole soup to nuts. Like, not only are we working on the products, but everything that has to do with the drug. We have to make sure that you understand how to use the drug, how to be able to prescribe certain pieces of information, how to communicate that to the patient.
Now, according to a Johnson & Johnson press release from December 2021, the safety and well-being of those who use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine continues to be our number one priority.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Guys, we got so gaslit. That's crazy.
Now, for the first time ever, an official from Johnson & Johnson...
Never forget, guys. Never forget. This has been a learning experience for all of us. To varying degrees.
Admits to our hidden cameras that the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine was, quote, not safe and effective, unquote. And the company wanted to, quote, just throw the vaccine creation to the wind and see what happens, unquote.
You know, they're like, oh, Joe Biden says that it's safe and effective, but like he didn't know.
There's no proof. I mean, none of that stuff was safe and effective. And he didn't do the typical test. Like the typical process, that's why it takes so long to get a product on market. The typical process is all this clinical trial testing and stuff in a small population.
And guys, the typical process, just for the record, and I hate to start and stop this too much. I'm sure there's some people that get annoyed by me doing it. I'm sorry. I have to add to this. I have to add to this conversation because I don't want some of these nuanced things just going unnoticed. The typical process he's talking about, we sped it up and skipped the typical process is what he's getting at. All of the testing that they need done. Guys, how many FDA-approved drugs get recalled because people end up fucked up for the rest of their life because they took a drug? That happens all the time. And here we have, unfortunately, guys, in this situation, The standard for the studies, the clinical studies, clinical trials, the standard should have been 10 times as high. You are working on manufacturing, creating a drug that's supposed to be administered to something like, I know Johnson & Johnson isn't the only company, but I'm sure the standards across the board for every company was similar to this. We already know that Pfizer has a terrible track record. They got the largest fine in history of a company getting sued getting fined because they misrepresented effectiveness of their drugs. You can go look that up. That's not even like a hidden thing. It's not hard to find. Okay, and here we have Johnson & Johnson admitting that they lowered the standard. This is the last situation where you should lower the standard. The virus is already all over the fucking place. By the time the vaccines even came out, all of the fucking weakest people in terms of handling COVID were already dead, including my grandparents, okay? You should have taken your time and heightened the standards. If a regular FDA drug is not intended to be given to 90-some% of the world population. This is a drug you are planning on giving to everyone. The standards should be way higher, but the exact opposite happened.
This was just, let's test it on some, lab models, analyze and see if it works and stuff like that, and just throw it to the wind and see what happens.
Oh, great standards. That probably won't kill anyone.
Know that, like the patients.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure somebody's going to get sued for that stuff eventually.
The lead regulatory scientist for Johnson & Johnson went into detail about how the federal government applied heavy pressure on Big Pharma in order to hastily create the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine, encouraging speed over efficacy or safety.
Now, unfortunately, guys, who was president? I hope it wasn't somebody that's on the Epstein list. I hope this wasn't Donald Trump's administration pushing for speed over efficacy and safety.
Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products?
These are the guys. These are the same vaccines that till this day Donald Trump still brags about having helped with the manufacturing process. This is the same vaccines. I hope everyone's memory is serving them well.
You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. It was pretty much...
Hold on, what did he just say there?
Create the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine, encouraging speed over efficacy or safety.
Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products? You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. It was pretty much the government kind of made a deal with pharmaceutical companies and kind of pressured the pharmaceutical companies, because we're not going to say no to the help, like the government. Like the government's like, yo, these three big ass companies, we need help. We need to figure this out. You're solving this problem.
Is that Operation Warp Speed?
I mean,
oops. Uh-oh, it was Operation Warp Speed. Uh-oh, guys. So someone from Epstein's list decided to give us all vaccines. Look what happened. Uh-oh.
We basically just had a race to figure out who could solve it best. Like, people wanted it. We gave it to them.
The CDC has...
This guy is really eating Wendy's chili, just casually eating Wendy's chili while talking about how he helped to poison the entire planet.
Previously announced they're pulling the J&J vaccine from use in the United States. J&J claims this is due to the vaccine's declining use and the company's strategic shift away from the vaccines. But as you just heard, J&J's own regulatory scientist was well aware of the ineffectiveness of their own COVID vaccine.
There's something side effect that's going to happen. And it's more or less, all right, what's the worst side effect that's going to happen? And is that better than the benefit that the consumer is going to get?
Bro, this is the problem, is this conversation right here that we're only getting because James O'Keefe tricked this motherfucker into getting recorded while having a private conversation with some little spinner. This conversation was supposed to be had publicly. This whole thing. It is up to the consumer, in this case, the victims, the consumers who are considering taking a drug. It is up to you and or your doctor to evaluate the risk versus benefit of taking a drug. Now, when we don't have the data, and especially reliable data, my philosophy is maybe we should just pump the fucking brakes on all of this. But some people's doctors just went, it's what everybody's doing these days, and recommended it. And of course, Joe Biden and every fucking news station, every TV channel, everywhere also recommended it.
It's like that's the interesting thing that I found about it. It's like, all right, you know what? Cancer patient's going to die anyway. So quality of life is the question in that instance, as opposed to whether you're curing something. You're not curing anything at that point. It's just, all right, are you going to have a nicer 6 months?
Now, I caught up with Joshua Rye in Toms River, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore, to get clarification on what he meant by his comments on hidden camera.
Fuck me, man. This is crazy. I can't believe... I thought this would have taken, 70 years, like Pfizer wanted it to. Remember, they wanted 70 years to wait to release data on their vaccines? And the judge said, you know what? I took one too. So actually, I want to see that data before I'm dead. So I'm going to say no. That's going to be a no from me, dog. Bob D's up in here. What's up, Bob D? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, the lack of shirt. Yeah. Yeah, some people like that. Some people really fucking hate it, but some people really, really like it. So here I am.
What led him to say this? What led him to tell a total stranger that his product was not safe and effective? Here's a little sneak peek of how this went. This is one of the most extraordinary interactions ever. Maybe right.
Oh my God, they're playing some of this other one. This shit is wild. No, this is the reaction. There's so many problems with this. Just think. Someone that works within our government will just spill the deepest, darkest secrets. Well, you could say this guy doesn't. Other people, there's other cases with these James O'Keefe videos where it's government officials, people from the FDA and stuff, like this black guy that freaks out and breaks their tablet. The video he's about to play, the clip. This guy's from the FDA. But the guy he was just speaking to is someone who worked for Johnson & Johnson, who was working on a project on behalf of the government. So anyway, but it's crazy to see people with some of the worst secrets, stuff that should, you'd expect these pieces of shit. Their whole life depends on them lying and keeping secrets from us. You'd think they'd have a little more integrity and not give out secrets about our government and the shit that goes on to random strangers. These are random strangers that James O'Keefe has taken to bring a hidden camera and record these people within our government, and they willingly just spill the beans. And I think a lot of the logic with this is of course, if they thought they were going to get caught or something, If it were a reporter or something that they knew about, they would never say this, but they have to tell somebody. This is the thing. These people, they're human, and they have all of this. They know what they've done is a really naughty thing. You told people to go get this random fucking crap shot injected into them. Some of them died. Some of them have permanent injuries and are fucked up, blood clots, you name it, heart problems, fucking half their face is paralyzed, whatever. And you just got to tell somebody. It's just, I think when, it's one of those things like where, it's the same as a kid that half of the fucking teachers, the female teachers that are banging male students, half the time they get caught, probably most of the time actually, most of the stories I hear is because the kid went and told somebody. Because it's like you can't just, as a teenage boy who's straight, if you're getting adult attention from a hot teacher, there's no way you can just keep that to yourself. It's just like, it's just an impossible thing. It's too crazy. When you're somebody that works for Johnson & Johnson or within our government, and you've taken part in some scheme to trick everyone into taking a dangerous drug and while calling it safe and effective, you have to tell somebody. You're just waiting to get a little bit drunk in front of a stranger. That's the rest of your life. You're just waiting to be slightly drunk with a random person so you can just spill all of this.
Rivaling the one that I had with the other guy inside Pfizer back 2.5 years ago.
That crazy gay black guy who lost his fucking mind and broke their iPad because they caught him saying that the drugs are like, this guy was saying that they were doing gain of function research or something like that. I don't remember.
Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
And you said...
He's like, you're pronouncing the name wrong. I'm not going to admit that's me. It's Reese. It's not Josh Rice. It's Reese.
Vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. Where is he going? He's going to run away. He's going in the women's restroom. Are you confused?
What the fuck?
I am.
He said, I'll go into the women's restroom, and I know this guy's conservative, so he won't come into the women's restroom because then that makes him trans.
I am a human man. I am allowed to take a pee in the man's restroom. You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. We have no idea. People, I got it from your mouth.
No.
Stand behind what you said and explain to us what you meant by it. Undercover investigation.
Not the cameraman aggressively running ahead when it's really not that necessary to run ahead like that.
Investigations like these carried out by our OMG undercover journalists are pulling back the veil on the corruption and lies in our...
How do I sign up to be James O'Keefe, undercover journalist, undercover twink? I would be perfect for this, guys. Just give me a man's wig, and I'm irresistible.
Government and our corporations in the pharmaceutical industry. Remember, sometimes 60, 70, 80% of revenue for cable news organizations and other organizations in the news business come from big pharma. The last time we did an undercover investigation into big pharma, like Pfizer, just a couple weeks later, I was indefinitely suspended from the organization I created. But we are going to report the news and tell the truth without fear and without favor. But we need you to reach out to our tip line at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com or send us a message on our signal. That's 914-491-9395. You could even connect with me on Minect, the app, and ask me, James O'Keefe, a direct question. I'll get back to you. One of our reporters will get back to you at the other tip lines. Thank you, and stay tuned.
How do I become an undercover twink? Jimmy V, the tide just shifted. What happened? The Epstein list come out? All right, what's this other video? Let me drop this for a second. What are you talking about, Joe? The tide shifted with what? This stuff? The Vizaxizine topic? Is that what you're talking about? So yeah, this was attached to another. Is this just them confronting him? I don't know if this is. Let me bring this back up. It might be the end of the last video. I don't know why this is two separate clips, but let's see.
Hi, Josh. Joshua Rice, is it? From Johnson & Johnson? Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
You said that you're...
Yes, sir. Are you Josh Rice? No. So you're going to deny your identity? Yes.
vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. How do you sleep at night working on a product that you say isn't safe and effective?
Why did I say that?
Would you like to see yourself on video?
He's like, well, you see, I take Ambien.
None of that stuff was safe and effective.
You know, where is he going? He's going this way. He's going to run away. Is he going to walk out the back? He's going in the women's restroom. Are you confused?
What the fuck?
You want privacy, but you said your vaccine doesn't work. I am a human man. I am allowed to take a pee in the man's restroom. The people have a right to know.
Bro, there's no way I'd be able to pee while James O'Keefe is talking to me. There's no fucking way. I'd be all locked up. This guy's just running away because he has to pee, and he can't pee while James O'Keefe is holding a mic up to the side of his head.
I'm standing here with Joshua Rise, who first denied his own identity, then tried to hide in the women's restroom. Excuse me?
Have a great day.
Stand behind what you said and explain to us what you meant by it. You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. We have no idea. People, I got it from your mouth.
No. I appreciate what you're trying to do right now.
What am I trying to do? What do you appreciate about it?
He's like, I don't know.
Can you please tell me what?
Josh?
Sean. What's your name?
Is that you? Just admit to me that's you.
When did I say hello?
Hi.
Oh, fuck. No way. They chased this guy out into the street, and James O'Keefe just casually has fans. Randomly, there's just fans of his driving by. Oh, I can't wait to see this new drop. It looks good, buddy. I hope I make the clip.
Hey, we're talking to a Johnson & Johnson individual right now.
No! He's talking to the guy in the car. He's like, we got us a Johnson & Johnson boy over here.
Now, about the vaccine.
I never.
God bless you, bro.
Thank you. God bless you, too.
Are you legal?
No! Oh, fuck. He's like, yeah, we're talking to someone from Johnson & Johnson over here. Anyway, so how about you poisoning the whole world? God bless you, bro. I'm a big fan. No.
Be knowledgeable.
I just got out of federal court today. I can't talk to you with the cameras off. Because the last time I reported on Pfizer, I got fired from my own company. Why say all this stuff to a rando in a restaurant, but not to the American people?
She was American, I thought. O'KeefeMediaGroup.com? I better not be behind a fucking paywall. I can't handle these paywalls. No. Oh, this is the so I don't get this. Yeah, he put the same video up on O'Keefe Media Group. It's literally the same exact video, guys. There's no reason to go to it. It's 2 minutes and something, right? This is what this is? Hold on. Yeah, 2:13. It's the same video. Okay. Bro, that's fucking crazy. Let's pull up. Let's go to let's pull up the full video of that black guy from the FDA DEI hire. Where is this one? Oh, I thought it would just pop right up. Where the fuck? Why is this not coming up on the twit? Where's the fucking full video? What is going on? Did it get removed from Twitter? Yo, they're playing games right now, guys. They're playing some games. Man, I can't believe I'm struggling. This. Does anybody have this clip? Does anybody know where this clip is? And could you send it to me on Twitter if you know where it is? Why the fuck can't I find it? Was it Project Veritas back then? I guess so. It's 2024. Oh, fuck me. Oh, wait, here's a clip from, what is this? This is from June 11th. I think I did see clips from this. So O'Keefe went on Patrick Bet David. Here, let me bring this up.
He's invested in one. So this guy, George Skakel, when he's saying that, prior to them coming after you, you dropped the Pfizer thing. That it talks about 4 companies he's invested in. One of them, I don't know how many of them was pharma. What was his link? If there is any theories to say, well, the reason why he did this because they got a phone call saying this. What are some speculations that you have that caused them to want to fire you right after the biggest story you guys ever dropped with Project Veritas?
Well, there was another clip in the deposition. He says that these companies could, this is his quote, could be sold to Pfizer.
Or Petrogen could be sold to a big pharma.
Like Pfizer.
Objection.
That's
That's
right.
what he
Yes.
says. And these companies now, when you're in a nonprofit organization that investigates these things, we have to sign a conflict of interest policy.
Right.
And this is a very important in my business, infinitely more important than any other business. If you have financial investments in these companies, you have to disclose
Sure.
that. I did not know this, but my board members were co-investing in these companies without my knowledge. They were soliciting money from each other to put into these companies, and I didn't know it until I got to this lawsuit. And this is an ongoing lawsuit.
What the fuck? What happened? Huh. Uh-oh. Let's take a look at this. Christopher Cole, FDA Executive Officer of Countermeasures Initiative.
It's among the Center for Pfizer and the drug companies to promote additional vaccinations. See, it'll be a recurring fountain of revenue. If they can get every person required at an annual vaccine, that is a recurring return of money.
Bro, look at this. I mean, it's not like we didn't know they're having these conversations, but man, if we can just get it mandated that everyone has to take a vaccine if they want to live in public or ever see their grandparents ever again. If only we made it a law that you had to get a vaccine or your kid is going to get picked up by CPS, then we could really be making some money, guys.
Going into their companies, the drug companies, the food companies, the vaccine companies.
So
they pay us hundreds of millions of dollars a year to hire and keep the reviewers to approve their products. It's already something never really publicized. I mean,
yeah, but
there's
it's
more
me.
there's more pressure.
So if you speak out about it, if you see
Take another sip of that wine, buddy.
them,
You're Mark. You're not going to get to certain levels in government. It's better just to stay quiet and accept it. And all these organizations within FDA, they started to see all this cash in their eyes. It's like, oh, I need to grab some of that. And I think we've gone too far on that. The money gets.
You think so? You think so when you're considering ruining everyone's lives if they don't take your drug? Maybe we went too far this time, guys.
Banked. It's not spent. It's a multi-year, and the money gets banked there, and you want to be able to spend it.
spend it
on whatever you can, whether it's right or wrong.
Okay. Okay, so here is part of the video that I'm looking for. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. This might actually be on YouTube. Give me a second, because maybe it's the Twitter search engine is giving me problems. But I think this. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Joke's on me thinking YouTube is just going to take me right to this video. Dude, what the fuck? This is so crazy. This is so crazy. This fucking cat and mouse game.
I want to get to the source. Project Veritas Media Relations Manager Mario Balaban is joining me. Mario, we've talked before, and I have to say, to be quite honest, some of the Project Veritas videos showing some of the damning comments and remarks made by, say, educators, saying they admit to intentional, in essence, indoctrination of students is something that a lot of parents care about. But the exchange of this video, particularly there are two very young men having a conversation about women's menstruation, was odd on its face. But then it was strange to hear this man who was purported to be a Pfizer executive not really sound like he had any experience or knew at all what he was talking about, felt very uncomfortable. So what was the point of all this?
Sure. So, I understand where you're coming from, but to the point about him being young and not knowing what he was talking about, you mentioned earlier that Pfizer has responded to the first video, and neither have they denied that he works there, nor have they played down his role. His title is Director of Research and Development. So this is a person that appears to be able to speak, and he does in the video, speak into detail as to how these things work. He explained what directed evolution is. He explained what he finds odd in the menstrual cycles of women. So Project Veritas is not inserting our opinion on this piece. This is all his words, not Project Veritas's words. We're just reporting on what the public wants to know about. And again, I actually appreciate that you're covering this, because we've seen that most media will not touch the story, although it has over 30 million views on Twitter alone. So the people have seen the video. The media, I believe, should look into covering this and getting answers from Pfizer. The only thing we've seen is they've attempted to fact check our video. Newsweek attempted to do that. They were unable to succeed, and they rated it unverified, which I don't understand what that means. I thought fact checks either say that something is true or false. They rated unverified, which I thought meant journalists have to go and verify it themselves. But, there's no indication that this man doesn't know what he's talking about, nor that he doesn't work for Pfizer. So I think the public has a right to decide what they think. And a lot of people have been called conspiracy theorists for, saying or worrying about.
Bro, did it not sound like the fucking newscaster is trying to downplay this guy's position in the FDA? That seems, and the same thing happened with the blonde-haired gay guy that talked about blow-darting black people and putting everybody unvaxxed on a list. The same thing happened with that guy. When that video came out and I would share it, people would go, this isn't somebody who's really high-ranking, making big decisions at the FDA. I'm like, it's not the fucking janitor. These are people that work for the FDA, bitch. This guy is head of vaccine research and development or something, right? Why? What? Really? You're so quick to downplay that? You have so much invested in supporting the FDA? That's how badly people just don't want to think for themselves. They'll find any way to discredit someone who's pointing out flaws within our regulatory agencies and authorities. Anytime you point out a flaw with that, it's like people have an immune response. They don't want to have to think about this. They just want to defer to the experts and the authorities. Some people just don't want to consider a reality that the people at the FDA and CDC aren't necessarily making the best decisions for everyone. That's just too crazy of a concept for some people. They just won't even entertain the idea.
Things that this man said, and this man is now saying as part of Pfizer, some people are feeling quite vindicated by this.
But it is interesting.
Yeah.
When I say that he doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about, first of all, he sounds tipsy to some people. I mean, everybody who's watched the video this morning that I've talked to says that he had too many drinks, and that could have colored how he responded to the undercover reporter's questions. But at one point, what you're talking about is he says that COVID-19 vaccines should not interfere with menstruation, but we don't always figure it out. Is that really an admission that it interferes with menstruation, or is he just saying what doctors have been saying? Which
They've already admitted now that happens. Imagine that. Back when this all came out, they hadn't admitted that yet.
is, in most cases, this vaccine should never interfere with the menstruation cycles of women.
Well, he says beyond that, he said I'm going to quote here, quote, "There's something irregular about the menstrual cycle, so people have to investigate down the line." Quote, as you said, the COVID vaccine should be interfering with the menstrual cycles. We don't really know. I hope we don't find out that something in this mRNA lingers in the body because it has to be affecting something hormonal to impact menstrual cycles. So he said it several times. And what was most, revealing in this video also is that you see that he actually is expressing serious concern of what can be uncovered in the future.
Bro, this newscaster is trying so hard but subtly. This is actually whoever this guy is from the Project Veritas. I mean, he's doing a fairly good job of not just agreeing with whatever this bitch says because they're nice enough to give some more legs to this story. But she's saying, "Oh, well, he said, so this guy said this, and he didn't sound very informed at all." The guy's like, "Actually, he was very informed. He explained in detail this, and that. And yes, he's the head of research and development and this and that at the FDA. So the fact that he's young and you're saying ill-informed, yet we have him on video explaining this, and that." And she's just like, okay, but it sounded like he said there was nothing real, there was no big deal with the menstrual cycles and anything. And he's like, "Actually, I'll read you a direct quote where he said there's something going on with the menstrual cycles."
A lot of people, what I've seen, the feedback I've gotten in this video is,
nice try, Diddy.
Before a vaccine goes to market, shouldn't the company, big pharmaceutical company, as well as the FDA, be comfortable in saying there will be no effects to, in this case, women's menstrual cycles as a result of vaccine? Whereas what appears to be happening in this case is this individual is now, after the vaccine is in the market, is concerned about what might come down later and how scandalous, and this is his words, not mine, how scandalous this situation might be if things continue to unfold in the way that he appears to be seeing within Pfizer. So the question is, at what point should people be looking into these issues before something goes to market, or are we accepting that we put something in the market as an emergency vaccine and then deal with the aftermath of what may come from that vaccine? Once people have already taken in the billions.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
Hope nobody forgets how our government agencies acted. No matter whose administration is in control, I hope you all keep this. Devote that, store that in your long-term memory. I was thinking, I don't know if this is going to be too long. It might be. But I figure since I'm in this algorithm tonight already, maybe it would be a good night to show you guys this one video that I've been wanting to break down. Oh, this ain't too long. Here we go. Okay.
Students across
I think we're good.
Florida receive an education that fits their style at Florida Cyber Charter Academy. We offer tuition-free public school at home, where students experience a comprehensive curriculum.
Should I do this tonight? Fuck, man. I almost think I should save this so that I can actually take time, because this is 25 minutes. It's 9:30 now. Wanted to go over some of the latest Trump stuff too. You know what? I think we will save this. I think we're going to save that. We'll come back to that, guys. God damn, I'm in such a bad algorithm. It's so disappointing to get into a bad algorithm after I was doing so good. God damn it. All right, so let's take a look at the recent the recent Trump tweet. It was put out on Truth, but you know, it always gets reposted on Twitter. All right, so let's read this. Says this is from today or yesterday? Today's the 16th? Yeah, today. First thing in the morning, Trump tweeting about Epstein and why you shouldn't care. Radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made-up story in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are the scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Fuck me, guys. This is not a good sign. He's calling the Jeffrey Epstein blackmail ring that we all know is true. He's calling it a hoax. I'll make this bigger so you guys can kind of read it too. Jeffrey Epstein hoax is what we'll always forever call this. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left capitalized for 8 long years. I've had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history, and all these people want to talk about the strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Democrats is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for the attention to this matter. Make America great again. Guys, this is very bad. This is very bad. Number one, I won't be talked to this way. I won't. No, look, Donald Trump campaigned on this list coming out. This is some hardcore gaslighting. He's saying we've bought into it hook, line, and sinker. You made us buy into it. You campaigned on it. This is actually pathetic. I'm just praying there's some bigger QAnon type of conspiracy that somehow this is going to, Trump is actually saving the planet by not letting this list come out. And everything we'll see in 6 months, we'll be living in an actual utopia because somehow that's what is that's the effect of hiding the Epstein list, is it actually is keeping the world turning. No, this is really bad. This is a bad sign. Like, why? I don't understand. I'm seriously baffled that he's pretending he's aligning this Jeffrey Epstein story with all of these other stories that to some degree were debunked. The Democrats have been the ones most negatively associated with the whole fucking Epstein story. How is it the Democrats' fake concocted story about a child trafficking ring that Hillary Clinton is involved in? That's a Democrat made up crazy left story? Really? That the Democrats are all pedophiles? They came up with that, huh? And there's one Republican involved. His name's Donald Trump. But the Democrat Party will bring the whole Democrat Party down just to get Donald Trump because he was in on it too. Is that what we're going with? Is that how retarded we're all supposed to be? Bullshit. Why is bullshit in quotation marks? Bro, this is actually crazy. Now let's take a look. There's been a few public statements that Trump has had a buddy of his standing next to him, monitoring him, making sure he answers correctly. Let's take a look at this guy, see who he is. Who's this guy from Trump's famous response here? Let me get you guys back on Twitter. Hold on. Junior Coltrane's in here being a dick. Yawn. No, he didn't. Liar, Steve. Trump campaigned on closing the border. The border is closed. Bro, Trump was the one who completely unprovoked would just go, hey, I heard about that island. I heard some really bad stuff happened on that island. Trump is the one that would say that. And then when Ghislaine Maxwell went to jail, he said, I wish her well. I haven't been following the case, but I wish her well. It was just my ex-wife's best friend. And I was really close with Ghislaine Maxwell's friend, Jeffrey Epstein. There's actually, go on the internet, there's hundreds of pictures of me with him. And but I don't know anything about the case, and I wish her well. I don't know what's going on. I'm just Donald Trump. I'm funny. Steve, get it together. You seem super paranoid. Maybe go get some fresh air. Yikes. Bro, I got plenty of fresh air. I was touching grass all up in Wyoming. You don't know about that Wyoming prairie grass. You don't know shit, motherfucker. The border is closed. Yeah, now we're trapped in this country with a bunch of fucking pedophiles. Now what? Okay, Trump should give you a fake list and open the border. Which is more important? That's a false dichotomy. You're saying exactly what Trump wants people to say. Oh, but he closed the border. Is that all we've got? There's still 100 million illegals here, and you're bragging that Trump closed the border, but is still protecting pedophiles. That's just like, you're desperate when that's your situation, is you're bragging about one thing that Trump did while trying to distract from 100 fucking things that make him look like a retarded, creepy piece of shit. Bob D said the border is closed, but Trump signed a bill to stop fentanyl from entering our country. How's it getting in here? I don't know about that bill. All right, let me get you guys back on Twitter. Let's take a look at this. Let's see who Trump's friend is here. Howard Lutnick. Who's this guy? Let's see who's there monitoring Trump's every public statement on Epstein.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? I don't understand it.
I don't understand it. I mean, I campaigned on it and promised everyone that we'd have transparency, and, and now they won't shut up about it. I don't know what it is. Promo code's in here. What's up, lover? Thanks for joining us. We've been in a shitty algo tonight, buddy. Had to work late. It's okay. I'll be on for a few more minutes. Bro, go watch the intro and we got into tonight's stream was interesting, but it put me in a bad algorithm. But I sacrificed the good algorithms to bring my regulars some actually, informative stuff or interesting stuff. I hate when we have to deal with facts and truth in here. Sometimes we stumble upon it, and that's okay. But I hate to do a whole show where I'm having to break facts to you guys and truth. Unfortunate truths. I hate that. The cost and availability of fentanyl hasn't changed. I don't know how it's getting here. They're probably just throwing it over the wall or passing it through the bars. If you can pass through the bars like a fucking bowling ball bag full of fentanyl, I think that could kill everyone in the whole country. I don't think, Javi, and thank you for verifying how to pronounce your name so I don't feel like an idiot. Apparently, Trump isn't implicated the same way as everyone else because he never took part in the fornicating. This is according to victims that have spoken out. Just an interesting detail. No, so that's a fair point that, as far as I know, most of the victims say that Trump didn't do anything to them. And dude, this is why I am holding out the tiniest little glimmer of hope that maybe this whole list and the entirety of the file, unredacted, hasn't been released because they are actually going to serve some justice. And, this is the same way as when there's a murder, some high-profile murder that's in the news, and the cops will make public statements, press briefings and shit like that, and they won't actually tell the press everything that they know in the investigation because it would compromise it, right? So beyond having, obviously, if you have blackmail on people, if you have a whole Epstein's file worth of blackmail on different politicians and world leaders and powerful people across the planet, if you just release that to the public, then it's worthless, right? Because then all those people's reputations are fucked, and some of them maybe could survive the reputation of other countries have different customs. People fucking little kids in different places. I don't know. Some people, God forbid, could maybe survive having a video from Epstein Island released about them. And then there's literally nothing you could do to tarnish their reputation or have any control over anything that they do because you already released all the important stuff. But beyond that, there probably could be more than the fact that this is all. The Epstein file itself is a powerful, powerful weapon, right? If they have they had said tens of thousands. Pam Bondi hasn't gone back on that there are tens of thousands of video recordings. So, yeah, man. But now she's claiming that it's tens of thousands of, there's 100,000 different angles of Epstein's egg-shaped cock fucking teenagers, I guess. That's what she's going with. We've got tens of thousands of different angles of Epstein's fucking Easter egg dong. But yeah, there's a possibility. I'm hoping it's something like that. Unfortunately, they just can't show it to us because then they wouldn't be able to do what they need to do to whatever, shut it down or something. That's a possibility. But unfortunately, this is the issue where I'm still angry. I get it why there is people that are just like still completely supporting Trump and whatever. Of course, I hope he does well, and I hope he's not implicated in such a bad way in these files. But you shouldn't feel guilty for being disappointed or angry when this motherfucker practically campaigned on releasing the fucking Epstein files. All right, so let's take a look at this shit. I just got a text from my boss. Hold on. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Trump's friend here. Javi, yeah, that's true. CNN head Steve, all about gossip. Yeah, well, at least I'm not ABC, who they pretty much, on Hot Mic, the ABC anchor admitted, I forget the bitch's name, but she admitted that they wanted to have an interview with other royals from England, and so they kept the story quiet about Epstein involving Prince Andrew. We watched that, last night or the night before? At least I'm not that. At least I don't stoop that low. I hope to interview Donald Trump someday, so I'm not going to report the truth. Javi says, also, Virginia Giuffre recently passed away. She was part of a lawsuit with Maxwell and very outspoken about Epstein. She mentioned not wanting to off herself. Yeah, and unfortunately, this is Virginia Giuffre, whatever it is. She, unfortunately, was one of, the outspoken people who added concrete evidence to this theory that this Epstein scheme was actually a blackmail thing, because we have Prince Andrew involved. All of the fucking victims that were involved with that Ghislaine Maxwell got convicted for were people she apparently was procuring for Epstein himself to do stuff too, adult stuff too. All right, let's take a look at this. Who's this dual citizen we got here?
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time.
I mean, he died back when I was president for my first term, mysteriously died. There's nothing suspicious about that.
He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Yeah, it's so boring. A guy that you used to hang out with a lot, that Epstein is on court records talking about how you and Epstein were extremely close friends, and you even actually were involved with part of the prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein because of something that happened at Mar-a-Lago or whatever. And but no, no one should have any interest in any of that.
And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Look at this fake laugh when Trump starts talking about fake news. Look at this fake news, fake laugh right here.
I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But
classic Trump. He said fake news, guys. Hey, everybody, look. Trump just said fake news. You guys are fake news. Okay, let's see who this guy is. So, this is who? This is who now? Lutnick and Epstein were direct next-door neighbors on Manhattan's Upper East Side for years. Epstein owned the townhouse at 9 East 71st Street, a massive property often referred to as one of the largest private residences in New York City. Howard Lutnick, this guy, resided at the adjacent 11 East 71st Street, a Beaux Arts townhouse he purchased in 1998. The property's physically touched and probably had a tunnel underneath, that I just added in, leading to descriptions of their proximity as too close for comfort. This adjacency persisted during Epstein's ownership of his property until his death in 2019. Interesting.
President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular?
Howard Lutnick. Secretary of Commerce. Wow, this guy's moving on up the ladder. But he's doing it right. First, you have to be neighbors with Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? You work your way up, you bang a few kids, you do it on tape, and eventually you'll be Secretary of Commerce. And let's go over to... You play your cards right, you bang some kids, you live next to Epstein, then you become Secretary of Commerce. An American businessman, philanthropist, and government official who is serving at the 41st United States... Here, let's take a look. Oh. Lutnick was a fundraiser for Donald Trump's 2020 and 24 presidential campaigns, as well as a vocal proponent of Trump's proposals to implement broad tariffs. In August 2024, he was named as the co-chair of Donald Trump's presidential transition. President-elect Trump named Lutnick as his nominee for Secretary of Commerce in November. A Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation committee hearing for Lutnick was held in January of 2025. He was confirmed. Times listed Lutnick as one of the world's 100 most influential people. Dear God. You hate to see one of the world's most influential people having a real yuck fest, giggling about how no one should be asking Epstein questions. It's concerning. Who is this person over on the Rumble? Bobbert 420. Welcome. Katie Johnson. Oh, is this a link you sent? This right here? I can't click on it. It's not I guess I could copy paste. You said this is Katie Johnson. Do you mean deposition? Disposition? Do you mean deposition? What is this? Promo code, thank you. DMS, you're the number one most influential people. Thank you. It's because I'm cute. It's because I'm a little bit cute. Okay. Early life education. Howard William Lutnick was born on July 14th, 1961, on Long Island, New York. He was the second son of Solomon and Jane Lutnick. Solomon was a professor of history at Queens College, City University of New York, while Jane was a painter and a sculptor who taught at the CW Post Campus of Long Island University. Lutnick is of Jewish descent, and a dual citizen, probably. He was raised in Jericho, New York, and attended Jericho High School. Jane died of lymphoma. Huh. Just reading a little bit of this, skimming. Quite honestly, I'm looking for the word Israel. Oh God, here we go. September 11th. Oh God, why is it talking about September 11th? I'm not ready. There's the Twin Towers. He was involved. What the fuck? This guy owned a business that was located in the World Trade Center. The Cantor Fitzgerald Corporation headquarters was in the World Trade Center. What are we finding out? On September 11, 2001, Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked American Airlines Flight 11, crashing the plane into One World Trade Center, which contained Cantor Fitzgerald's corporate headquarters, and they needed to get rid of some evidence, so they brought down the Twin Towers. I added that, sorry. Minutes later, a second hijacked plane, United Airlines Flight 175, crashed into the 2 World Trade Center. The plane crashes marked the beginning of September 11th attacks. 960 employees work for Cantor Fitzgerald in New York City. All 658 employees who were in the office on the day of the attacks died? Oh my God! What the fuck? This guy's seen some shit. What the fuck, guys? Bro, Donald Trump's Secretary of Commerce is a 9/11 terrorist. What the fuck? Oh my God, all of his employees died. That was just so he didn't have to pay them. It was payroll day, and this guy rather hijack a plane and bring down the Twin Towers than pay his employees, so that's what they did. I'm sorry, I am unhinged tonight. Okay, where were we with this? They died. Lutnick was scheduled to go into... Oh my God, no! No! Lutnick was scheduled to go into the office that day, but he had taken his son to kindergarten. Oh my God. This is the same thing as the fucking Larry Silverstein. Bro! This motherfucker! What the fuck? Bro, this goes along with the supposed, the reports that a bunch of Jewish people in New York City stayed home from work. This guy was one of them. Dude! Oh my God. Oh my God! I have to read this. Okay. Cantor Fitzgerald's operations in London and New Jersey allowed eSpeed to continue trading. Lutnick's interviews with Connie Chung on ABC News were widely publicized, and he became nationally recognized, though he garnered controversy among the families of the victims for not paying deceased employees. Oh my God! I literally joked that was the case, and it's right here. You guys, I did not read this wiki page before we got on stream. I am stunned. I made a slightly anti-Semitic joke that because this guy's Jewish, he wanted to be cheap. And he didn't want to pay his employees because he's got 700 employees. So instead of paying them, he he'd rather pay 7 terrorists to fly a plane into the building and kill them all. That happened to be not far from the truth because the families were mad that he wouldn't give the final checks for the dead employees. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not paying deceased employees whose paychecks had served as a safety net. Holy fucking shit. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. I had no idea we were headed this way tonight, guys. I had no clue. Silly me, thinking we were just going to get on stream and have a couple laughs. And here we are, solving 9/11. All right. Dude, no way this guy did this. Guys, no way. I cannot believe we are here. I cannot believe we are here. I'm glad I looked this guy's name up. This is just readily available on Wikipedia. What the fuck? Oh my God, this is appalling. Okay, let's read more. Hold on. What the American Red Cross offered as much as $30,000 to the families of the victims after Lutnick appealed to the organization's president and chief executive, Bernadine Healy. Lutnick attended funerals for each employee killed for a month. In October, Cantor Fitzgerald began distributing $45 million to families. In February 2002, the firm announced it would divide $4.9 million in profit to survivors. That is funny, man. So did he end up? I guess they're saying by what? 30,000. Yeah, that's the Red Cross, 30,000. So yeah, he distributed 45 million. I guess he did cough up some money. But dude, that is so fucking funny. I made a joke about him wanting to kill his employees instead of pay them, and then it turned out there was controversy that he did not want to pay the deceased employees. That is, if it weren't kind of fucked up, it would be mind-blowing funny. Blowingly funny. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, where are we? Dude, you have to be kidding me. So fucking funny. Oh fuck. So since 2020, Cantor Fitzgerald has invested, and this is this guy's company or whatever. Cantor Fitzgerald has invested in cryptocurrency, particularly Tether, a major cryptocurrency company which has been implicated in money laundering and sanctions evasion by regimes in Russia, Iran, and North Korea. 2024, Lutnick presidential candidate Trump spoke at a Bitcoin conference in Tennessee, Nashville, in which Lutnick announced Cantor Fitzgerald would open a $2 billion lending facility with Bitcoin as collateral. Political endeavors. Firm also invested in political endeavors, including by encouraging Rumble, an alt-tech video hosting company, to go public, advising a business operated by Omid Malik, and investing in Strive Enterprises, an asset management company owned by Vivek Ramaswamy. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. So he has been there. He has donated. He's done funds and stuff for 9/11 victims, hurricane relief. Lifelong Democrat, now registered Republican. Imagine that, guys. Wow, that's funny. Sounds like Trump, does it not? Lifelong Democrat, now Republican. That's interesting. He appeared at a rally, at the Madison Square Garden rally. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Um, oh fuck, that is crazy, man. I don't know. I'm stunned. He did 9/11. Now he's friends with Trump. Promo code. Are you in here fighting with Junior Coltrane? Don't, bro. Take everything he says with less than a grain of salt. Motherfucker does not even know what his own position is. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get the fuck out of here. It's 10:11. I got to jerk off and go to bed. Okay? Oh, I actually got work to do tomorrow. Holy fuck, I'm sore. Oh my God. I did squats yesterday and I did chest today. How's the chest looking? Ooh. You guys like that? How about that? Is that cool? Do you guys like that? Should I do more of that? Should I do more of this? Okay, guys, I gotta get the fuck out of here for real. Adam Wiley, I'm about to leave, and now you're in my chat. Son of a bitch. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I've done too many pectoral flexes for one stream. That's too much. I think I'll get hit with some kind of violation for that. That should be against the rules if it's not. Thank you. Love the pecs. Okay, thank you guys. I did chest today. My chest is already sore. That's how I know I fucked it up. Oh my God, right here. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can barely sit down. And it's not because I had anything done to my tight little tender butthole. It's because I did squats yesterday. Repurposed art. What? Dang, are you gay or straight? Just asking. I'm straight, like, personally, but I'm playing a gay character so that I can get away with saying certain stuff. Because gay, you can pretty much just about get away with anything if you're a gay guy. You can kind of say anything. You can be homophobic. You can be racist. All that stuff. I can get away with all of that because I'm gay. So that's why I'm doing this. Humiliating myself so that I can critique the LGBT community. All right. Stand up, let's see what I got. What the fuck? Now that sounds gay. Bro, what are you wanting to see? What are you wanting to see? I'm not what do you want to see? Oh fuck. I'm out. Dutch Duke, wait. Someone's about to get me to take my pants off. Don't leave yet. FaZe Cops is here. Oh, I'm a girl. I just wanted to see it all. That's funny. I thought this was a guy. I don't know. Repurposed art. What do you want to see? I barely have room to stand up here. What do you want to see? Oh. What do you want to see? Ugh. What do you want to see? We're taking requests. We're taking requests right now. What muscle group? Okay, that's enough. We know that when I'm taking requests from women to flex muscles, that's when you know I've crossed the line. We're on here too late. I gotta get out. I'm supposed to be playing a gay character. Everybody chill out. We'll be good. Nice arms at that. Oh, thank you. Tomorrow's bicep day. They're going to be even bigger tomorrow. Ooh. Ooh. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. Thank you all for checking out the stream. If you didn't see, like the first half, it's worth checking out. The intro video is a underrated, lesser known, should be more popular video. And it's fairly shocking. Live after dark. Dark match after dark. We're going to have to do that some night, guys. Everybody has to make sure they have a goddamn Twitter page so that I can go on to Twitter, live on Twitter, only Twitter exclusively, and we can do adult stuff, like talk about adult stuff. And, I can pull up the picture of Conor McGregor's cock that he sent to Azalea Banks and stuff like that. It'd be fun. So we'll do that eventually. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be live. Should be on by 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, 8. And then Friday, I'm probably going to try to get on early because I have plans for Friday night. So I'll see you guys then. I'll be in the Bubba Army chat in the morning. That's the Bubba Army channel on YouTube. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. That's from 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we got Scott Starbird at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, my buddy, doing his stream on YouTube. And then we've got Alex Stein at 7 p.m. And then I go live at 8. It's our little evening lineup. So I'll see you guys then. Everybody take care. No hair? Wow, you look good, Dark Match. Thank you. Yeah, I like to keep a fresh shave. What's that mustache's IG? Should it have its own Instagram page? All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. Everybody take it easy. And I'll see you in Bubba's chat. All right. Bye.